Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. This is the CBE Axis Target site. CBE have had target sites before and I've reviewed them. This is the latest. We're going to compare how this compares to other target sites and how it compares in the market in price. So let's open it up and have a look. The case it comes with is very similar to all the other sites in the market. Your Accels, your Black Gold, San Leader, the cheaper sites, similar sort of case. So carbon bar, we're going to discuss it. It comes with that, and it comes with some instructions. Okay, so first thing, carbon bar, 6 inches, doesn't have options for 9. It's a click mechanism, so it's like your Accel. It's got a little button there which makes the click, so there's a ball bearing in here, so it's a definitive spot what clips into. That's really nice. The lock-in system here, basically the same as an Accel. My point here is Accel has these things. These things they sell separately. I don't know if CBE do. They should. Maybe it's just a matter of me asking for them. So if you've got multiple bows, it can fit on different bows. So that's my first point. On this side here, you write your sights, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. On the other side, you have a sight scale. The sight scale comes with various scales in here. So let's have a look at these sight scales. There's a whole bunch of them. Wow. So I'm going to guess you have to get the right scale for your speed of your bow. And that would be a matter of trial and error. There's something here called a gauge tool. I assume that helps you doing that. Each scale has a letter on front and back, so it's cool. Very similar to your Accel. With the Accel, you've sometimes got to buy some of these so it fits. Look, I really like this system, and it's almost enough for me to buy a sight, these alone. So, big fan of that. At the moment with my Accel, I don't have the latest model. I just basically record what the distance is and what I'm shooting, and I have a bit of paper. Okay, so we get to the sight. Micro adjustment up and down, that's pretty standard. CBE have always had that. What CBE have not had in the past is quick movement. Like this, it's quite tight. And I'm going to say with your Accel, it probably moves a bit easier. But if you're shooting field archery and you've got one target which is 5 and one target is 6, this is where this is a good feature and a really big improvement from Accel. From CBE it's a big improvement from CBE to make it like the Accel. Now what's different? You've got micro adjustment here to move this little thing up and down, and on this side to move it up and down. Accel does not have that, so this is pretty cool. Why would you want this? So that's my first question. Why would you want this? Let's say your sight's just a little bit out, or you've moved your peep, or you've changed your string. So the distances will be the same because the speed of the bow is the same, but there'll be a fraction difference. That's where this is cool. Just a fraction bit of difference, you can make it there. Left and right, easy to move. You've got a lock system here. Look at locks quite well, and then things. What you don't have on the CBE site is this detaches. And I'm going to say that's a bit of a pain. So what CBE has is a little block here. So when you take this off, through loosening off that screw, you can slide it out and slide your scope back into the same position. I'm going to say the Accel is a lot easier because you can detach this and you can buy replacement ones of these. And maybe you can buy replacement ones of these, so that way you can fit different scopes in. So I actually sell lots of these things for Accel because people have different scopes. So for different conditions, people might shoot an 8 times or a 6 times, so they'll have these. So in the ideal world of ways to improve this site, I would have this as being a quick disconnect, or this whole block system come off. This is a lock-in system, so you can lock it, and then you can't basically, makes it harder for you to move. I don't know if this screw is going to come loose when being shot. Look, overall, I think it's a nice site. That's my first point. I'm going to say I think I prefer the Axel site. So Axel is your pinnacle site, but this looks like a really well-made site. You've got a little marking here to sort of see stuff, and it's a vast improvement on the other CBE site. Now, how does this compare to the other sites on the market? So your other sites have been Shorelock, Shibuya, and Black Gold. Okay, so they sites on the market, and I sell them, and if I say something bad, then I lose my dealership. So, look, it's not bad. Now, the price in America for this site is $420 US. In Australia, the price is $650. Now, it used to be more. So it used to be more until I brought them in. Okay, they used to be $100 more. They used to be $750. I guess everyone has dropped them now down to $650. Now I put them on my website. So $650. It works out to be dollar for dollar. The Australian dollar is 64 cents, pretty much on the money with what the Americans pay for this site. The Australian dollar versus the American dollar, about $650 Australian and $420 American dollars. It's pretty much on the money. Now, the Axel site in America sells for almost 500 US dollars. In Australia, it sells for 820 Australian dollars. It's fractionally higher in Australia than America because we've got GST, and you're going to say, well, this has got GST, yes. And I'm going to say the major reason for that is because of freight. I'm freighting these in a bit cheaper. Okay, so because these come in with your elite shipments, which I do big elite shipments, my freight costs on Scott, CBE, and Elite is cheaper than my freight shipments from Axel. So it's coming in, but we're only talking a couple of dollars, right? So $650 versus $820, about $170 difference in Australia. At $170, this interests me as being a fractionally cheaper site because it's got all the features you want. In America, $70, depends how many hours you work, but in Australia, $170 very much interests me on this site. I think it's a well-priced site for that. Now, price to price, how does it compare? Black Gold and this site are priced exactly the same. And I think this is a bit nicer than the Black Gold. Okay, same dollar for dollar value. I think this one's a bit nicer. I think this system's a bit better here. I think this is a bit better. I would choose this over the Black Gold. Black Gold will hate me for saying that, but I think this is a slightly better site than the Black Gold. I think this is only marginally a step down from the Axel, and you could argue the point that this is superior to Axel because it's got the micro adjustment sights here. It comes with the sight tapes on the side. Look, I've been very happy with Axel sights. I've had them on my boats for 20 years, and they are bulletproof. And I'm running literally some of the Axel sights from 20 years ago and never had a problem. And I'm going to say that's one of the major hurdles with another site company coming into the marketplace, because Axel is so good and so bulletproof, it's hard to topple. Saying that, I've never had a problem with the CBE site, so they are pretty good, but they haven't been of the same standard because they didn't have this quick movement feature. There were some other things they didn't have, but this is cool. I really like the sight things on the side. Now let's compare it to the cheaper sites like the Sanlida. Sanlida Hero X10, cheaper, about $380. This has been $650. So $380 for a Chinese site, but it doesn't have like the sight scales on the side, And these pins are very easy to read. Very easy. Like, I have got no problems of reading that. It's very easy for me to read. Arguably easier than the XL to read with my poor eyesight. So there's a big difference in price between the Sanlita and this. However, I find this easier, and this has got some features the Sanlita doesn't have. Sanlita is a pretty good sight. Now, there's cheaper sights from companies like Towpoint and Avalon. They're in your $100 price bracket, and I don't really compare these with these because I think the Towpoint ones and the cheaper ones have screws that come loose, but I assume this is going to be pretty solid, but I just kind of feel like testing it out and trialing it. It's got your third axis adjustment. Look, it's got all your settings to move it this way and that way, and look, it's a pretty good sight. I just wish this was detachable. If this was detachable and I sold this as an accessory, then I would say it's in the money. Now, the other thing Axel do, which CBE don't do, is colours. Colours, very important. Axel also does a recurve version sight. A recurve version of this would be a good thing, given that about half the archers are now shooting recurve. So, and you could argue the point in Europe there's even more recurve archers than that. So, and you should be aiming for the worldwide market, not just for the US market. But that's the CBE Axis. I really like it. I think it looks really solid. And I really like these sight tapes. I'd be so keen to try those out and sort of see how it all works, because I really, really like it. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.